the design of Ashes of Creation is what attracts so many of us to it, right? How many times in World of Warcraft or ESO or whatever do you feel insignificant? Do you feel like whatever you're doing in the game doesn't matter? You could go take a cast on Cyrodiil and then 10 minutes later it gets flipped over again. Nothing you do really has an impact. I mean, nothing really. But in Ashes of Creation, if Sunny pays 10,000 gold to become the governor of the Miralith node, the metropolis, and then Vladis and his band of thugs roll up and use an exploit and win a node siege through any number of ways and level the node. I mean, that is a huge quit moment for so many people. And there is a really good counter argument with all this. Hey, we want the exploiters, you need a thief to catch a thief, kind of thing, right? We want people to be finding these exploits and using them. It has been my experience that the people who are using the exploits are using them over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
And oftentimes they're not even the first ones who notice it. They just hear about it and then they just do it ad nauseum. I have multiple clips of this, of certain groups doing it over and over again. They weren't the ones who originally found it, but they were discovered using it multiple times. There will come a point in testing where we have to actually simulate a live environment, right? We have to simulate the game coming out, because if we haven't actually done that yet, if Intrepid is still, up until the last day of testing right before launch, everything is like, hey, we're still in test mode, guys. I think that's bad. Phase 3, from what Steven has said, is supposed to be the phase that has player retention, that has it is supposed to simulate the most real life gameplay experience that we've had. And so at some point, Intrepid is going to have to get serious about punishing exploiters and having that be a public thing. I want to hear you guys' takes on this right afterwards, but I think that punishments need to be public. I mean, Sonny, maybe there's a legal thing that prevents it from happening. However, I think for public executions back in medieval days, in the Wild West, were a thing for a reason. Right? They existed for way longer than the English language has existed because they work. They serve multiple purposes. I think these bannings need to be public, and we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, hey, this is great. We found a bunch of exploits, and sure, we want to keep finding exploits, but if we're driving away some testers in order to keep other testers, I think we're at a net loss if we're doing that while we're keeping people who just repetitively exploit.
Couldn't you imagine if they put out a whole whole newsletter and they said, we just banned 3,000 people. Here's the server this tune was on, the tune name, and the guild that this tune belonged to.
Oh, I love it.
And you can imagine if they had that. And it's just like a long list of all these names, all the guilds that went along with it. That would be, because again, reputation matters. And especially if you know that you're looking for a guild, or you think maybe, because also too, let's be real about this, man. There's been some people that have left guilds because they thought their guild was on the up and up. And then they come to find out that their guild wasn't, and their little circle was on the up and up. But then there was like some more higher officer tier circles that weren't, and then they're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable being in a guild that does shit like this, because then I'm going to be associated for, oh, you're just an exploiter, or you just break the rules, or you just do this. And I'm like, well, no, I don't, you know what I mean? So again, all that's going to matter. And if you put out, people talking about the gallows, man, like if you start doing something like that in game, man, that could be pretty cool.